Welcome back to the Brickanista Broadcast Network. And look who's back.
Ta-da!
PT's back. How's it going?
Taking a break in between some basketball games. So, yeah. Things are well.
There's an echo here.
Uh-oh.
I know what it is. It's me. Nope. Okay.
Grandma Blue Bricks is in.
Yeah. That was me. Sorry about that. Grandma Blue Brick. Debo's in the house. Return to PT.
And Lewis.
Yes, we have some special guests in the background. But before we talk about that, PT, what have you been up to? We've missed you.
Well, a little basketball with my son, since I'm their statistician for his high school team. And so that's kind of been taken. They had games on Tuesday nights, and so that kind of messed up our schedule. But our lug actually just did LA Comic-Con this last weekend. And so
nice.
We had a couple collabs besides everyone bringing independent pieces. We had Moonbase, which was really fun.
You've been working on Moonbase for a long time.
Yeah, so we've been building up to that. This is the second time we've actually shown. I guess the third time we got together with the lug meeting. But and then the other one was trains, 9-volt trains. So we did this train layout. And
wow.
So yeah, so that was fun. So that was this weekend, a long weekend, Friday through Sunday, doing shows. So, but it was good.
We've missed you, and we didn't plan this, by the way. PT and I are like matching, right? I tried to wear like Miami colors, and I have this hat that would have been perfect, but I couldn't find it. So you got the standard hat that I usually wear. But what's your shirt have? It looks like a pirate.
Mine is Brick Slopes.
Brick Slopes. Oh, cool.
Yeah. Lean back, show it off. Yes, Brick Slopes. This was their con shirt from this last August.
Well, PT also made a comment from our last episode where we went through a review of not only Ben and Poppy's builds, but we also did a discussion about the brick pit matching the attire of the hosts.
Yes, conspiracy. Color conspiracy.
Not a everybody says it's a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy. It's just staging. It's just we're one of the few programs that notice it, right? Yeah. But it was funny because I think you called it like the grand brick pit caper has been solved.
Something like that.
Oh my God, it was so funny. Well, you've been missed, and it's great to have you back.
Well,
and it's also a relief for me because I don't have to work the slides this time. Oh my God, I was so bad. I was so bad on the slides. It's like, here, let me zoom in here. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we're on the next slide. Excuse me. Let me go back. Bear with me.
Yeah.
But looks like we have quite a few people in the chat, especially from season 4. And Debo says, now I have to get on season 5. There you go. Well, so I don't feel outnumbered in the chat. Well, actually, season 5 is filming right now.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to look at season 6. But lots of people here. Timmy Owl. It's not a conspiracy if it's true. Oh, I guess that's true. Huh? Thank you, Timmy. And, of course, Grandma Blue Bricks. Alex, your kids are gorgeous. People are saying hi to each other. And glad to be here. Thanks, everybody. So today, our show is going to be a little bit different because we're going to talk about the semifinal. But since there's only 4 builds, we figured, why don't we go through a retrospective of our 2 special guests who are anxiously waiting in the back. So please help me welcome first to the stream. Please help me welcome Lewis, a.k.a. Salad Bricks.
Hey, Lewis.
What's up, guys?
It's so weird not seeing you in the chat. Well, you are in the chat, too.
I'm there.
He's in both.
But it's always great to have you here. And, of course, please help me welcome also Alex, a.k.a. Teacher at Bricks.
Hey, guys.
Good to see you here. Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Well, we're really excited that we could go through a little retrospective of your builds, too. But before we do that, which one of you, I think I know the answer to this, but which one of you was the one who really wanted to get onto LEGOMasters and brought the other one in?
Alex, I'll let you answer that one.
Well, I found out that we had a final audition a week before the final audition. So
Well put.
I'll say this. I actually tried out with another teacher at the school for season 3, and we got pretty far along the process. We just unfortunately didn't make it, so we tried out again. And same thing. We got far along the process. We were gonna do finals casting, and unfortunately, a really nice guy, great guy, this guy Peter, he had to drop out because he had personal reasons and things that he had to take care of. He just couldn't commit to it. So they're like, we really love the teacher angle. We really loved, is there anyone you can get? I think it was like a shot in the dark. Let's just see if you're some other. And funny enough, Alex can tell the story better than I can, but he found me by accident. We knew each other at the school, but he had no idea what my interests were. And he was randomly searching some Lego Aztec builds or something like that, and he found my Aztec pyramid. And then he saw my picture on it or something. He's like, that's Luis. Wow. So that was total random chance.
Same school.
So we started talking about Lego at that point. So when they asked me to see if I could find someone else, I remembered that Alex had an interest in Lego. So I told him, and he said yes right away. And like he said, they did the whole interview all over again, like speed mode. And Alex crushed it. I mean, he has a great personality, as you guys have seen, and they loved him. And it worked out perfectly.
Good modeling skills too.
Very good modeling skills.
Did they mention that at all in the interview? Like, do either of you have modeling experience?
Nope. That was a surprise to me as well.
He did do the interview in a Speedo, so
that's what got you on, right?
That's what got us on.
Oh my gosh.
That's
well,
funny.
Also, I know this from the exit interview, but this isn't the first time you've applied for LEGOMasters, right? You've applied multiple times.
I applied season 2 and 3 and 4, obviously. Funny enough, season 2, they reached out to me. I guess they saw my Instagram and they're like, we'd like you to apply. My daughter had been telling me since season 1 to apply. I was like, hey, that's crazy. I could never do that. So they reached out. I showed it to her. Look what I just got on my Instagram. She's like, you have to do it. So I applied for season 2, didn't make it. Season 3, obviously didn't make it. And season 4, I was like, I wasn't really in the mood. I'm like, here's my stuff. You guys have seen my stuff already. So it's the one I put the least attention to. And go figure.
Then they said, okay, you're on.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, maybe that's what it is. It's persistence, right?
Well,
Because
that's on TV in a swimsuit. So
I'll say to people who apply or who have who want to be on or haven't gotten on and have applied, don't take it personal. Don't assume that if you don't make it, it's because you weren't good enough. It's often about, they're trying to do a diverse cast in terms of different types of personalities, different types of careers, different types of makeup of a team, whether it's 2 friends or like they don't want to have, like, I think they had that one season, so was it 2 where they had a lot of brothers, I think they tried to, so you might be wonderful for the show, just not the right fit for that season.
right.
So don't like take it personally if you don't get on. Don't assume it's. Don't be afraid to ask questions if you don't get on about maybe why you didn't get on. Sometimes the dynamic you and your partner, you might get along great, but it's not great chemistry. It's not great chemistry for the show, or who knows?
Right. It's interesting you mentioned that because we had this conversation with Kelly and Emily, and Kelly had interviewed twice, once with her brother and once with her daughter. And both times they said, we really like you with Emily.
Right.
So it was just interesting that, and Emily apparently applied with somebody else.
Yeah.
And they wanted Emily, but they guess they didn't want her partner. And they said, yeah, we really want to put the 2 of you together. And it worked out brilliantly too.
I think a lot of people in the AFOL community forget, I think sometimes that that it's a show to entertain non-AFOLs as well as AFOLs.
Right.
So we have we set like this bar of expectation that, they should be doing more, or should be more hardcore, or more this. And we forget that they're doing an amazing job creating a piece of entertainment about something that we love, but for a very wide audience. That's a lot of non-AFOLs. So it makes the show more enjoyable when they cast a variety of people and they do all kinds of things, and they know what I think they know what they're doing. I mean, I think over 4 seasons, it's the
Yeah.
cast have been pretty great. So
Most definitely.
so keep trying is the end of my spiel is don't give up, keep trying. You never know when it's your turn.
I'll be season 12.
There you go.
Watch out.
I had already planned season 10 with my daughter.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I got ahead of the curve, but
Well,
that would have been my season 10 application.
you never know. They might do a special like that because even Grandma Bluebrick said that she applied with her son first.
Yeah, a lot of people do that, so that'd be great. Count me in.
So, PT, did you have any specific questions?
Well, I just want to know how long have you guys been playing with, playing or building with Lego bricks?
I have no problem with playing. Playing's fine. I love playing. Building, playing, whatever. It's all good.
Yeah, I mean, was this something from childhood, or is this something new, or in the last,
Oh,
Definitely from childhood. I got back into it with my son. I have a 6-year-old son who's obsessed with it. But most of the Lego that we would buy would be for him, and he was very clear that I wasn't allowed to build. I was only allowed to find and hand him pieces. So that was
funny.
My expertise was in finding and handing pieces.
That's funny.
But yeah, it was definitely something I've always enjoyed doing as a kid, and now I've gotten a lot more into.
Yeah.
And Brickaroo Banzai is here. Hey, Brickaroo Banzai, aloha hoi.
Hey, Brickaroo Banzai.
Yeah, honestly, my first memory of playing with anything was with Lego. So it goes way back to, I remember 5, 6, I don't know. Who knows? At that age, you don't know. But as far back as I can remember playing with anything, it was Lego. And I still have in my collection some of those same bricks. Unfortunately, not all of them. But my mother swears she never threw them out. But I'm not
the dog ate them.
Sure where they went. Yeah, the dog ate a lot of Lego. But yeah, I played with it for a long time, and I guess you could say I had a dark ages. I always would buy a set here or there, but I think when you hit your 20s and college and grad school, getting jobs, starting a family, all that takes time away from that. So it's like Alex, when my kids were old enough to start playing with Lego, that's what sucked me back in.
Yeah.
And Brickaroo Banzai wants to mention that it's good to see some fellow people from Florida here too.
Is he in Florida? Where is he at? I'd love to know. Put in the chat.
Yeah, where are you based, Brickaroo? I'm
actively trying to get as many South Florida.
Well, aren't you trying to start a convention in Miami too?
Well, that'd be a really nice to have kind of thing.
Bricks by the beach.
I'm certainly open to it.
Sam's already named it for you.
Melbourne. He's close to the lug in the Orlando, or I forget the Greater Florida Lug, I think they're called. But yeah, I think that's something I would love to do. I don't know. I would need a group of people here large enough to help do that, because I've I'm good friends with Timmy.
A core group of volunteers.
Times and seen the work that Tim and that group puts together, and I know it's not something you can do easily. So the cast have often prodded me to do that, because who wouldn't want to come to a Lego convention in Miami?
Well, it depends on what time of year. The middle of summer is hard. Just like for with the Brick Rodeo.
It'd be amazing to do it in the wintertime. The problem with the wintertime.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
It gets January. It gets pricey down here in the wintertime. So that's the downside.
So are either of you guys in a lug then? Do you guys belong to any of the lugs down there?
No. The closest lug we have is in Orlando, kind of mid to North Florida, Tampa, Orlando, that area. So, and I checked it out a few years back, and I think there was a requirement that you had to meet maybe quarterly to be part of the lug. And at the time, that driving 4 hours to do a meeting wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at options. We'll see. But I'd like to get something started here, whether it's an offshoot or its own lug.
We have several people from Florida chiming in.
Trying to collect South Florida people. So
Here we go.
little by little, I'm working on it.
Jesse Yox, welcome to the stream.
That's my girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
And then she-
And then also Grandma Bluebrick says that she'll come. And of course, Timmy L says, Brick Rodeo in Texas in July. The air conditioning is great.
that is true.
And
I don't want to do summer. I don't want to step on anyone's summer toes. There's a lot of conventions in the summer.
yeah,
So,
no, I tell you, December, January would be awesome.
Yeah, exactly. There's already a couple
Devo
of
grew up in Lakeland. Does that count for Florida cred?
Yes, it
Absolutely.
does. Yes, it does. He knows the craziness of Florida. He's a Florida man.
And I forgot to mention Lena Inverse is here. PT, like your shirt, but looks like I can't bark up the wrong tree since palms don't have a bark on them. Okay.
Bad
Thanks,
joke.
Lena.
All right. There we go. Dad joke. Here we go.
We had to start somewhere, right? Well, these two are also known for puns. Did you practice your puns before going on the show?
No.
It just came naturally.
We
All
knew
right.
Alex didn't because of the ketchup
Maybe
one.
Alex did. Yeah, maybe Alex did. I don't know. I didn't. But yeah, we had a little encouragement here and there. That's all I'll say about that. But yeah, we had a few teacher puns thrown at. You know, we threw a few teacher puns out
Right.
there.
Right. You're going to be schooled.
So your outfits, did that you guys matching, I mean, with the tie and the shirts and all that? That was all, I guess, wardrobe telling you, hey, we want this look.
No, we thought it'd be great to wear a tie and build Lego for 10, 12 hours. Yeah, no, that was
I was
The
saying
dress-
that was good delivery. I almost had to throw that sarcasm right there, but it came over. That
the
was very
dress
good
shoes were the
delivery.
best part, but we talked our way out of the dress shoes, I think, after the first episode or two. The ties never came off, but yeah,
Yeah.
they kind of wanted that traditional teacher look. That's what we wear at school, so we got stuck with those ties. Funny enough, I only wear bow ties at school.
Oh,
I think it's the first time I was wearing a regular necktie in like 5 or 6 years.
And I was praying that they said, "We want you both in bow ties." I was gonna be like, "No."
no, not a bow tie. No, they
Yeah,
already
not
did
do
that with the grandpappies.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, they did that already. And I'm glad you went with the shoes because you did the great shoe caper too with Tank, right? Big Tim.
Yeah, but those are separate shoes. I happen to have the same shoes that I would wear from the hotel to the set, a pair of Adidas sneakers, and those are the same shoes that Tank wore on set, like on the show. If you watch him on the
Right.
show, those black Adidas sneakers.
Tim's Brick Adventures, who also says, wow, I really have been busy to not know Lewis's girlfriend.
Sorry, Timmy. So Tim's here. Tim can appreciate this joke. He was a great. First of all, I wouldn't have done this if I didn't know Tim was an amazing guy. So it was very easy to pull this prank because I knew he'd get a chuckle out of it. But one morning when we're getting into our wardrobe, I see him put his shoes down under his overalls, and I go, "This is the moment." So I grab my sneakers, I swapped them for his, put his away, and then I went around the corner and started videotaping Tim. And he spent, I have the video, it's a good 3 minutes long
Oh, man.
of him trying his best to put these sneakers that are 3 sizes smaller than what he's used to.
He got one on. We're still not sure how.
He did manage to get one on. The second one, though, that took forever. And at one point, he just kind of gives up and just stares at his feet like in resignation. He's just like, what is happening here? And he's struggling. And that's when I felt so bad. I had to come and
You
let
had
him
to
off the
fess
hook.
up.
Because he was going to go back at it. He was like, all right.
Yeah, he
You know
wasn't
what?
giving up.
I walk up to him and he goes, I go, Timmy, what's wrong? He goes, I think my feet swelled up last night. I don't know. The best thing is I shot the whole thing on video and it's hilarious. So it made me laugh. It made a lot of us laugh because there was a few people who caught on to what was happening, except for Timmy, of course. So it was fun. One day I'll get to share that video, I hope.
His
When-
poor foot. We were laughing so hard.
Yeah.
Now, you
who else-
also, Grandma
else
Blue
knew
Bricks, you
about
also
that?
had another comment up here about
Who else knew about
in
the
the
shoes?
green room.
Yeah, the shoe joke.
I know.
time.
I
Chris
had to
Brown-
distract him so that he could swap the shoes.
Oh, you're the
I know
Confederate.
Chris,
All right.
Chris was aware. He was right around the corner there. I think Ryan and Aubrey knew. Karen knew.
People started finding out as
Yeah.
as he struggled to put them on.
And he was so focused that he didn't realize I was 5 feet away, like recording the whole time. So
Well, it just shows how fun your cast is as well. Just that you can do those kinds of things.
we did. We all got along amazingly well. We had a lot of fun with each other. When we were able to get out of the hotel and out and do stuff, we always tried to include as many as we could, and it was always a great time.
Ah,
And to this day, we all still chat. We have our WhatsApp group, and we chat every day pretty much. And there's always something to share with one another. So it's an amazing group. Very lucky to have been with that group.
yeah, no kidding. And puns in the green room. Ah, gotcha. Lena says, "Wait, when is Naomi going to try to play Lego Island? You want to order a copy for the stream? Okay, that's going to be something else. Okay, Descent into Madness. PT stands for Phineas
Sounds like an episode of LEGOMasters.
Phineas Talbert.
No, Debo was asking.
Is that true, PT?
No.
Oh,
I was going to say that's not what you told me.
that would have been amazing.
That's what I
I would
tell
never
people
call
all
you
the time.
PT ever again.
Well, it's funny because they will. They go, well, you kind of look like a Phineas. Yeah, I see that. And I'm like, no, that's not my name.
I might just call you Phineas Talbert from now on anyway.
That's actually my pen name when I did short story writing. So
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's a good one. I like it.
thanks.
Well, we have a slideshow set aside for this event, and Alex is also going to give us a little bit of instructions on how to make the perfect coffee.
All right.
I've already prepped him. I said, this is something that they mentioned that was one of your talents, but we never saw it on the show.
Yeah, they edited that part out. But yeah, we'll do a a little run through. Oh, we're starting with that.
Oh yeah, we kick off with that because coffee
All
first
right.
thing of the day, right?
Right to it. All right. So this was actually the little setup we had in the green room. After I finally got the coffee making stuff on set, we kind of stole it from the set and brought it to the green room so we could keep having coffee.
Those are Tank's black Adidas in the top corner there, actually.
Oh, right there.
There they are.
Oh, how funny.
So it's basically, call it Cuban coffee. You can get it at any number of places in Miami. There's like
Everywhere.
little walk-up windows that sell probably thousands of little cups of coffee a day. And it's basically we use a stove top espresso maker to make the espresso. But what really makes it different is getting a certain amount of sugar, usually probably a little too much if you like it on the sweet side. And with that first bit of like really concentrated coffee that comes out, getting the right combination of coffee and sugar so you basically make like a paste with the coffee and the sugar. And that ends up turning into like a foam at the top. So it's basically an espresso, but with a good amount of sugar, but it gives it that nice foam on top. And it's that perfect pick-me-up, whether it be in the morning or after lunch or, in the middle of the day. It'll
Not
really
before bed.
power you through.
Well, several cast members mentioned that you were also doing this during your build time, that you didn't have breaks, that you would just go make your coffee. And also Ben
Did he do
mentioned
that?
last week-
I wasn't aware of him taking time
I mean,
off.
Lewis had things under control at that
I
point.
wasn't
So.
stressed about that at all.
Oh, okay. Well, Ben actually mentioned that you had call times really early in the morning, especially in the first episodes, like 4:30 in the morning. And then you brought this out and it was like the best thing ever. He just really enjoyed it.
Ben, Poppy, Sam, and Nina were probably my top customers. Don't ask Emily about the coffee. Emily was not.
No, Emily hates coffee. But I will say, as somebody who's drank Cuban coffee his whole life, our fellow castmates not only got to enjoy Cuban coffee, which is good, but Alex happens to make it exceptionally well.
Mhm.
So it was they were given really good coffee. Like, not just that it's Cuban, but it's Alex's Cuban coffee, which is
Alex's Cuban coffee, and delivered to your table too.
yeah.
Absolutely.
You can see in the back, actually, there's our little coffee station.
Yeah, little station set up back
They
there.
will wheel out for us.
Oh, okay.
Robert loved it. I was afraid to give Chris any because the fact that
He's
he
already
runs at
pretty
1,000,000 miles an
hyper.
hour, he didn't need any caffeine.
That would overclock his CPU. Not good.
So that portable station in the back that was on wheels, and you could like wheel it around to everybody.
Oh,
Well, we
Sorry.
just kind of kept it behind us. I would just walk around and hand out the coffee when it was time.
Ah.
For coffee.
See, I wish they would have had one of those like tech tips where you would actually talk about the coffee and why it's brewed differently.
That'd be great. There was a lot of coffee moments that obviously didn't make the edit, unfortunately.
Coffee would be essential to maximize bricks per minute,
Yes.
definitely. And
Unfor-
I was going to say I've not tried Cuban coffee that way. So
No,
since Brick
absolutely.
Robanza, you're in Florida,
I'm sure there's plenty in Melbourne. Yes.
Chris would fry his brain if he had coffee. That's funny.
That's us.
There you are.
that's the team photo.
So you'll notice here, this is our episode 1. We're wearing episode 1, and the ties are actually ties from our high school.
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
It was
very
mentioned on the
cool.
show, but Alex and I, we went to the same high school. Despite some people on Reddit, Alex is not my son. You know, some people apparently think he was. We're not that far apart, but we are. What year did you graduate, Al?
2006.
2006. I was 93. So there's some years there, but not Papa
Technically,
years.
could be my father in some
Technically.
weird dystopian novel.
So handsome.
Thank you, Karen.
Thanks, Karen.
Which one, by the way, Karen? Specify, please.
The sun.
Compliment both of you.
So yeah, so that's our school logo, and we went to high school there, and now we're both teachers there. So we have a lot of ties to the school. My son goes to school there now.
Oh, wow.
Who knows? Maybe Alex's son may go to school there in the future. Who knows?
He will be there eventually.
So the school has been a big part of our lives, and I'm actually there. I actually went back to the school to teach more, to give back, to the school that gave so much to me. So it's been fun, and obviously I made a great friend in Alex by doing so.
Mm-hmm.
So is that
And the school played out in our builds, especially in episode 4, as you guys saw. We'll talk about that.
so around campus? Then are you guys like the Lego guys or something like that? The Lego dudes?
I guess we are now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either that or the swimsuit guy. So I'll take the
Yeah, actually, I in my multimedia class today, the kids finished their project early, and they were watching an episode on YouTube earlier. So they like it. They have fun with it. They're always asking me questions about how things happen and what was done and all that. So they have fun.
Very nice. Cool. Well, let's get into your builds.
All right.
There's episode 1. What's that?
I remember that.
The teacher's Tiki Lounge.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was our first build, obviously, and I think one thing that people who haven't done the show maybe don't realize is how overwhelming that first day there can be,
Mm-hmm.
and just figuring out the brick pit could be a 5-hour session on its own. So, our we were supposed to have a 3rd level, Alan, right? Remember?
Yeah.
One
We
point.
never even came close.
We didn't even get close. I love this build, actually, and it wasn't in the edit, but we had a really nice comment from Jamie in judging, which they didn't show, which he's like, this could be an actual Lego set. That made my day. However, I think that was the negative for us, because you can't see it in this picture, but like the whole deck, which is tan, was 1x4 tiles. Like if it was a teak deck on a boat. Like every detail was thought of and
Yeah, I don't
carefully.
think there's a
Wow.
single stud on the
That's why I
board.
like to build. So there was no stud in sight, and that we learned right away that was not the right way to go if we want to be successful on the show, because you just don't have time to.
Right. Time management. Right.
You have to pick and choose where you want to spend your effort, and you have to realize that certain details are not going to show on TV. When you're talking on a certain scale, some things aren't. You gotta weigh. We would have been much better served by having that third level than having that teak floor tiled. So,
Yeah,
but I love this build.
I see it now, and it looks tiny to me.
Yeah.
Compared to the other
It's the one
builds,
I
yeah.
thought while we were building it. But now it looks like almost like a micro scale build. But it's that learning curve, right? And figuring out what really plays on camera, what plays on these beauty shots. So it was, again, beautifully polished, but you don't see half that polish. So I think that's something that we learned from this episode.
Yeah,
like
Grandma Bluebrick says
there's a-
winners have to be fast and only worth it if it shows.
Yeah, and actually, there's like feature like the inside lights up, so there's lights that you see through those blue windows, and we
Oh,
have
wow.
the dance floor at the top there has lights underneath, so it's like a lit up dance floor. There's all kinds of stuff that didn't show on TV, and a lot of hours went into doing stuff that at least the audience doesn't see. Maybe Amy and Jamie consider that in judging, but there's a lot of work
Right.
sometimes in some of these builds that just doesn't get seen on TV.
People love your dots pattern too. Seriously dope. And also gorgeous up close.
Thank you. And of course, we had our spinning "No Kids" tiki sign at the top, which are Apple, which that was a lot of fun to build.
So you guys build a lot with any of the motors, power up or no? Because you
First
guys
time.
seem to, oh, it was your first time. Wow.
Well, not my first time. Alex's first time. I've done a few. I don't like it personally. The noise bothers me. I just don't like my build going all the time. It just annoys me. So, and I feel like if it's got it should be on all the time.
Yeah.
So I like my builds are a snapshot in time. Like something that happened, and that's how I like to do it. I mean, maybe one day I'll use a motor if I find a good reason to, but
Gotcha.
I typically don't.
Yeah. No, it's just because you guys had those throughout your builds. That was like one of the things is adding it, even when it wasn't required.
Well, there were times where it was required, but I think one thing we learned is that they like it. It's anything you can add technically to your build, and we'll get into some of the builds, that later on. I think we learned our strength. I think is story and polish and the look, and I think some teams were better technically, and I think as in some of our judging, I think the technical side always pushed others to the top. So we knew always to try and introduce as much of that as we could in our builds.
Gotcha. All right. So episode 2 was I think the Catropolis, I believe.
This was Alex's favorite.
That was an interesting build.
Are either of you allergic to cats, by the way?
No.
Well, I am, but I live with one, so
No,
I'm
okay.
used to dealing with my cat allergies.
This build was a direct response to our first build.
Yeah.
We were
We
like
went small, so we had to go
too
big.
small, yeah. So let's go as big as we can. And we got this, there's even more that we wanted to do that we didn't get done because of the time. But we were really proud of this build. I thought it was great.
Yeah, it was fun.
I think for
Fun.
What's that?
I said stressful but fun.
Yeah. This was the first time where Alex and I, actually not the first time, it was the first time and only time on the whole show where Alex and I had, and I don't even want to call it friction because it really wasn't even until after that he told me, hey, I was really stressed out by the way we did this or that. And I was like, oh, I'm glad you told me, and we sorted it out and never had an issue ever again. But I was a slave driver that episode. I was like, just go, keep putting, go, just do it. Trust me, just put bricks, and he was putting all these bricks out really fast. Yeah, because we wanted to get a lot done, and there's still stuff we didn't get done. But I'm really happy with the build. I thought it was a really nice build.
No, yeah, it is. It's it just looks very complete and finished. Besides the features that you had going, all the movement and everything.
And that's another thing. I'll tell people who again are considering, since we talked about that earlier, who are considering being on the show. I think every build was us doing something that we've never done before. The catch a mouse, or I forget what we called it exactly, but that game, I've never done that before. And sculpting a bone, I've never done sculpting before. There's a lot of things, and we were just like, let's just figure it out. Let's just go and figure it out. And I thought we did. I was really proud of how we managed to get stuff done that we'd never done before. I think the volcano is the only one that really in my wheelhouse in terms of stuff I've built before. The rest is a lot of new stuff.
That's a great segue.
I was gonna say, this was one of my favorite.
This was my second favorite that we did.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Maybe mine too. Yeah, this was a great build. I was really happy with this.
I just loved how the flickering eyes, like it just woke up, and then when the lava came out of its mouth, and it just had so many wonderful details.
Yeah, like what's I mean, I know why they did it, but it's kind of unfortunate that you could tell that they added a little bit of the effect in post. Mm-hmm. But Alex and I were standing right in front of it, and when that lava started to flow, the eyes opened up, and there's two red light bricks behind it, and it was shining like these red eyes right through it. It was perfect. It just worked exactly how I wanted it to.
Yeah.
I was really happy with this. Really proud of this mechanism that we used, because we had an idea of what to expect, but we really didn't know exactly what to expect. Like I remember watching Jordan doing that wheel, and I had to spin so many times to get that snake up. I was like, Jordan, I don't know if you're gonna get enough flow to get that much time. So we just did it. It's like a hair trigger. You could have blown on it, and it would have opened the eyes. So just any lava flow that went back there was gonna make them open up. And it worked perfectly. It just looked like that tongue coming out of his mouth. We got lucky. I know some people didn't have as much luck with their lava flow, but it just worked out perfectly for us.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say it was luck. It was skill there. I mean, you were very intentional about the flickering eyes and even tongue that coming out.
I think we got lucky not lucky. I think we did well to use a mechanism that allowed for a lot of possibilities.
Right.
But we had really good lava flow, and others were maybe not as strong, and I don't know what factors went in there, whether it's their build or the mechanics. So there's a little bit of we got lucky that we had a really good lava flow, but I also think we were prepared for the best and for the worst, and it worked out. It worked out well.
And you have those seaweed pieces from Atlanta Brick Company.
Yeah,
Alex has some of them.
I had them there,
and I have one of the doors too, actually.
Oh, nice.
But I think a good story here. Again, I don't know. I guess I keep talking to the wannabe, future LEGOMasters. Alex had a lot of experience building sets, but not mocking. But he often he did the fish on the mobile and the cat build. He did the picture of the cat. He did a lot of things on his own. These kelp kind of tall seaweed grass that he did, like just on the fly, they work perfectly. And the fact that he used flex tube, they have this they look like they're underwater. So don't always expect you have to have this professional mock builder as your partner. Alex was an amazing partner in every way, and we worked excellent together. And even though he didn't have a lot of mock experience, he's creative. Even though he says he's not. He's very creative, and he again, I couldn't have picked a better partner.
Very cool.
Now, Grandma Blue Bricks mentions, first of all, that yes, your volcano had that tongue look to it, but was there a different viscosity, you think, between some of the builds?
I don't know if the viscosity. I think it's the same fluid.
Yeah.
I think it's just hard to judge because you don't know what was above other people's tubes.
Right.
But
It also depends on how you made that. I mean, like Lewis made a
Right.
perfect little
Or channeling it too.
cup, yeah, for it to kind of fill and then channel. Whereas opposed to some people, I think just had it coming straight out. I think the fact that we had like an area for it to almost pool,
Mm-hmm.
helped us get the viscosity and the amount that we needed to get that effect.
yeah, we gave it one place to go, and it was very simple. It was like just go filled up a little pool and then it just fell down.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's probably fair to say that not everybody had the same flow rate.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little tricky, I think. But again, I'm not sure about that.
So Debo mentions that he was floored that you had flex tube available. So was there a lot? Because I know that in the boat challenge, that's what Poppy and Ben used was
Yeah.
flex tube.
Yeah, I don't remember flex tube being. I mean, we didn't use it that often, but
It was
in
there.
discussion with other cast
Mhm.
members, I don't remember being a problem. There was plenty of flex tube.
Oh, so Timmy Owl agrees that lava was not consistent.
I think we'll leave. I think how we feel about the actual lava flow from build to build is best left unsaid.
All right, then, moving on.
That's probably a good idea.
You're monkeying around. All right.
Yeah.
This was one of my favorite builds of yours too,
Yeah.
because it
I
was a
really
nice
enjoyed
homage to who you are, and also just the character development, right? Just building those characters for your teacher and your students.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was
Alex,
my
you wanna-
favorite. by far.
take it. Alex is more the teacher, so I'll let him tell the little story behind this one.
Well, I mean, this was by far my favorite. It was. I think the idea came to us very quickly when we heard those monkey sounds, which we've come to learn weren't monkey sounds; they were bird sounds. Apparently, it's some like abstract bird from Australia, I believe, New Zealand.
Somebody will put in the comments. Something with a
not
K.
common birds at all.
Kabawaba. I don't know. Something like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, we thought of the monkeys, and then we just quickly thought about monkeying around in the classroom. The more we built and kind of shared stories, the more we realized that this might be more reflective of our experience as students than it is as teachers. I had a lot of fun in high school, so
Yeah,
and
we
I
did.
tend to run a pretty strict classroom. But it was a blast. It was a blast to see those figures come together. Lewis was afraid of making characters and never made characters before, and turned out these amazing. Not only the monkeys, but that teacher with that expression, I think really is
Oh,
a huge part of
definitely.
it. So the fact that, and again, going back to just doing things for the first time, even Lewis with all his mock experience had never built characters and was able to turn out these amazing monkeys. So it was fun. It was fun to kind of put the story together and see it unfold. And I had always said my goal was to get one of our builds animated. And the fact that it was this one was just kind of the icing on the cake.
Now, Lewis, are you a Wallace and Gromit fan? Because this kind of has a Wallace and Gromit kind of feel to it.
Yeah, I can. You know what? I hadn't thought about that. I've seen. I don't know if I call myself a fan, but I've seen a couple of them. So I like animation in general.
Yeah.
So I can see that now you say, it, especially that teacher.
Yeah, with the teacher and also some of the faces of the monkeys too.
Yeah. So yeah, I love this build too. I'm with Alex. This is my favorite one. Not just because of the way it turned out, but yeah,
It sounded like monkeys to me.
Us too. But yeah, this is just a very personal build.
Now, have you recreated any of these in a smaller scale, like Groovy Bones has done?
I actually have. Yeah, I did this.
Oh, look at that!
Hey.
I actually recently sent one of these to everybody on the cast, so
Oh,
Oh, that's cool.
everyone got one with their own little message right here.
oh, nice. Now,
Yeah,
PT likes to build characters, so I think you have a new assignment, PT.
Yes, I can do that. I can build.
so I actually built the whole. I just decided to do the bust instead. But
Oh,
so he's there. I can build a full monkey. I had a hard time. There's actually a very slight difference between the show one and this one. I couldn't figure out how I did something, how I actually did on the show exactly, but
mhm.
close enough.
So Grandma Blue Bricks hasn't gotten hers yet, so she's excited. So
What?
adorable. Thanks. Or did you get it? Sorry, I may have implied that.
I think she got. Oh no, she got it because she put the picture of it in her on her shelf.
Ah,
Yeah,
sorry,
so
that was my bad.
no worries. The only one left, I think, is Brad and Mike, who say they haven't gotten theirs yet, but we'll see. We'll see
Ah,
what's in the mailbox.
it has to go all the way across the country. All
Yeah,
the
but everybody
way.
else got it. Everybody else got poor Tank. I think Timmy was like the first one to get it, like 2 days after I put it in the mail. And Tank, who lives close by, I don't know, it went all over Texas for some reason, and kept going to different post offices, and he finally got it today. So
Oh wow, got on the wrong track.
What a sweet gift. That's cool.
That is very, very cool. All right. Here we are with episode 4.
Team Soleil.
Team Soleil.
this was
And
a fun challenge.
yeah, and your high wire act. Again, see you guys with the mechanics and making things motion and lighting. That's one of the things for me watching the show was it was something you guys always seem to do. Add light or add motion to everything.
Yeah, we tried to make that a point, but it's not something that we have experience with. So this, I think that whole episode, if you look, I'm like in the corner the whole time.
Just working on that mechanism.
I tried
And of the
so many
12
different
hours.
things to get this mechanism to do what I wanted it to do. I wanted there to be an actual balancing, natural movement. No offense to Paul and Neil, their mechanism was very cool, but I wanted to do something that was just like actually moving on a line.
Yeah.
I was originally going to do it on string, but I didn't have actual string. They just had the string that has the eight stud string that has the 2 studs on the ends. So I couldn't use that, but I tried all kinds of stuff.
Well, maybe we should have tried the string, and then we'd have learned our lesson with string.
No, we didn't. Yeah, but we didn't have the right string, so. I guess since I didn't get to use string here, I decided to use it later.
This is your girlfriend's favorite build. So cool.
Thank you. I actually, I'll be honest. When I was done with this, I told Alice my least favorite build. But now that I've stepped away from the anxiety of building it, I'm enjoying it more. But I still wish there was more we could have done. It was tough.
Yeah. It was fun to collaborate and work with everyone. It's and step away and not. I don't think I was at the table with Luis for more than an hour or two in this episode. Yeah. Just building, we a lot of us worked on parts that made the build cohesive. So it was nice to kind of collaborate and work together. It was definitely a change of pace.
Yeah.
And we did talk to Ben and Poppy last week, and Ben said that you nailed the perimeter. So you did a good job around the perimeter here, because we were joking about I think Robert was off by a stud.
Oh, so. Yes. Yeah.
That would kill me.
Yeah, but it was sad that Poppy wasn't there for the review of the team's builds.
That was a big blow to all of us.
Yeah. Yeah, we were all really disappointed.
Last week, I said, everybody's so worried about you. It's like, he goes, I know. And he said this. I didn't say this. He said he had COVID. He said it on the show. He goes, and then Ben said, you're the only person I know who is excited to tell people that he had COVID. Yeah, so he had to be in quarantine, and I guess he didn't, even though he tested negative, he didn't come out of quarantine, I guess, in time for the schedules of the unions.
Yeah.
But, we think that they'll show up at a future season. We hope so, anyway.
Hope so.
hope
They
so.
definitely deserve it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they could have been there at the end.
Oh,
they were,
most definitely. They had.
Ben is that talented, and Poppy was that good of a teammate that I could see
Mhm.
them. I could see them having made it all the way to the end. So it's really a shame that they didn't get the opportunity.
Yeah, they had an interesting comment about the next, I guess, episode with the bag, the fall fashion. I guess that might be
that's-
2 episodes
No,
after.
yeah,
I'll
you
save it for that when we get to see Alex in all his glory.
Oh, God.
So is this episode 5? Is that where we're at?
Yep.
Yeah.
This is 6, actually.
Or 6?
The
Oops,
detective
sorry.
episode.
Six,
Yeah.
yes, correct. 6.
Sorry, I lost track. So when you guys were selecting, I mean, how long did it take you? Did you guys just see it and say, "Let's take that," or were you thinking of other items?
I think we, Alex, you correct me if I'm wrong. I think we had an eye on the record player early, but we still looked around and considered other things.
Yeah,
I know-
you see Lewis walking around with the record player. So
Yeah.
the rule was once you left the room with it, then it was yours. So like we picked it up and kind of claimed it, and then walked around and saw
Claimed
what
it early.
I think the deciding factor for me was definitely seeing what Sam and Nina and Christopher Robert selected. At that point, I was like, this is the episode where we want to. I felt like after seeing that, we just got to coast. We just got to do something good because one of those two is probably going to go home or he's going to have to use that golden brick.
Yeah.
So it made that decision easier. I know I was like, that's nuts. Let's not screw this one up and save them.
Right.
So let's
you just have to be above the last person, right?
yeah. So this was one that I thought was still cool. My daughter got a record player right before this, so
Oh,
it
fun.
made me think of her, and she loves her record player, so I was kind of inspired by her. So yeah,
I
I loved
looked
it.
some of these up. They're now Bluetooth capable too. So you
Yes.
can connect them to your headset or speaker. And
Yeah.
now Taylor Swift and other artists are releasing LPs.
Oh yeah, you can get
It's like,
everything
what?
on. Yeah.
Yeah, they said the sound quality is better on LPs than on CDs. So they're making a comeback.
I think there's a nostalgia factor there. I think
Right, that too.
scientifically that may not be accurate, but people like their vinyl sound.
Well, there's a couple of different theories about it. One of them is the nostalgia theory. Another is the analog theory that apparently analog sound is better than digital sound. And the other is that this whole idea of you're listening to an album from the first to the end and you're not like skipping around. So
Right.
it's like a story that you're listening to.
Oh yeah.
I think albums when it was vinyl, that's how albums were made.
Right. They
And
were designed that way. Exactly.
How the artists created their music with that in mind.
Mhm.
I don't think artists today think about an album that way anymore. At least I think many of them don't. They're just
I agree. Yeah.
individual hits, But I don't know. That's a different stream. But
Yeah, so Brickaroo Bonsai is exactly what I was reading about, that
Yeah.
the warm analog sound is apparently better, and that's why LP sales are also going up.
Yeah.
And LP record players like this.
I think it's fun. It's fun to play a record.
Hmm.
But the other thing we liked about this was that we knew it would give us an opportunity to put some motion into it. So PT, as you mentioned,
Right.
we really did try to put something into almost all our builds. So yeah, we thought it was a good chance. I liked our record for whatever reason. When they showed it on the TV, in motion, I guess at some point it had separated, and they showed it with the crack, which I was a little disappointed by, because as you can see here, there's no crack, or I don't know. Maybe this is one where you see it, but I don't know. But it looked great before. But Jamie didn't love our record, but I thought for being Lego, I thought our record turned out pretty great.
I thought it was fantastic. And Brickaroo Bonsai apparently has been collecting records for a couple decades. And I think this was probably one of his favorite builds too.
Yeah, I hope so. I love it. I really like the way it turned out.
Yeah. Nope. Very nice.
I don't know. And one fun thing about that challenge is that since it was you had to replicate it. Once we felt like, okay, we've done all we can to replicate it.
Mm-hmm.
I think we had Alex, like maybe 30 minutes
Yeah.
of breathing time, and we were able to go. Like I helped Sam and Nina a little bit. Alex, I know, was helping Christopher and Robert a bit with their chair, and it was nice to see
Yeah.
other people in the same situation where we all gonna, obviously there's that scene where everyone's helping Sam and Nina, but other people got help too, and other people were helping as well. So it was really nice.
That
So
and
it was a nice episode.
I was trying to get as much grease from my hands onto the surface of the record so that it wouldn't look too shiny and get us called out immediately. So
Oh, how funny.
it worked.
Yeah, Stacy
Rick
missed it.
Rubunza said he would display that. Definitely.
All right.
Ay, ay, ay.
You knew it was going to happen, Alex. You know that this is the episode where all your students must have been so excited.
Alex is the only good part of this whole episode. This bag,
This
This
was
bag
a nightmare of an episode.
yeah, this bag is my nightmare. I wake up in the middle of the night in cold sweats thinking about this bag.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
But you survived this episode.
By
It's kind of
by
like
a
what you said
miracle.
on the previous episode. Just, coast and just.
No, but this wasn't coast.
doing
This was over ambition. This was thinking about Sam's comment. This was hubris and what else did he say? Hubris and self-entitlement. I don't know. I thought I could get. They didn't show it too much on TV. This at one point this was literally all held together with string, sandwiched between two plates.
Wow.
There was nothing connected, and it works great as an individual piece, but we can never get the connection just right. Like if this is the kind of thing where we had, I think 3 or 4 more hours, which is a lot. We would have gotten it. We would have nailed it, but we just needed a little more time to get it to work, and we just didn't have it. And in the end, we had to we had an hour left. We really were pulling string off and just plated it together, but everything was supposed to be flexible and it was working to a degree. But then when we had to really put it together, it just wouldn't hold.
But the colors were fabulous. Oh my gosh. And the whole concept of a sail. So you had an interesting shape on top of it. And Grandma Blue Bricks also wanted to mention that not just your students, I bet the administration took notice too.
Yes.
Let's not talk about that.
Oh, we will talk about it. We're not done with this episode yet. And the previous episode, though, Debo mentions if you could have spun the record fast enough, they never would have noticed. But the danger of injury.
I don't think those power function motors go that fast.
Go that fast.
Yes, there we are. Now, whose idea was it to go out with that fur kind of robe?
I mean,
That was wardrobe. I think they wanted to spare everyone from too much time of me walking around.
Yeah, they could have given you a flannel robe. They like this really luxurious robe that you would see.
It's wonderful.
Somebody who's very wealthy who's going to go out there.
You had no idea they were going to give you that robe, right? It's not like they tried it on you or anything.
That was just kind of handed to me last minute.
They handed it to you and they said, "Here, wear these sunglasses too."
Yeah.
Thank you, wardrobe. That was very entertaining.
It was fun. It was
What's
fun.
funny is
it made you look like this guy who's full of money, who's spending it on everything, and I'm gonna get out there now with my Speedo and show you what I have, right? It was very clever.
What's funny, all wardrobe has to be approved by the people, the powers that be, so to speak.
It took a while to get this one approved.
Yeah, it was like Speedo, nope. Speedo, no. Speedo, okay. So there were other attempts to get a little less fabric in here, but didn't fly.
And it was funny that we kind of both had the same idea without discussing it.
Go ahead.
No, you say it. Sorry.
No, we were waiting, and we knew we were in trouble. I said, "This photo shoot's our only chance to survive this." And I totally said this as a joke in my mind. I didn't actually expect him, but I'm like, I was kidding around. I was goofing off with Alex, and I go, "Alex, hear me out. What I'm about to say, don't say no." but this could be our one chance to survive this episode. I got one word for you. And he responds, Speedo. I said, yeah, Speedo.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
And I was gonna be. I said I was.
Oh, that's good.
I was kidding, but he's like, yeah, I'll do it. I'm like, all right. I didn't tell him
You
I was kidding at
volunteered.
the time.
I'm not going
I
to
was
say
like, all
anything
right.
more.
We just said yes. Let's go.
Oh
with
my
it.
gosh.
I mean, it was a photo shoot on the beach. What else was I supposed to? I definitely wasn't wear a tie. So
Yeah.
Oh
You
my
can
God.
wear, like regular swim
Now,
trunks, but yeah.
Did
Speedo-
you both
Speedo
agree
was-
on summer when you went to run for that magazine?
yes,
I
I mean
don't know.
we're from Miami. We only live in one season, so so I think there was no doubt that summer was what we
Summer
were
was it.
go for.
I think we both liked in general to do stuff that meant something to us personally, or was called to something in our personal lives, or
Right.
our childhood, or our families, our culture, or whatever. So any opportunity to do that, we like to do that. So yeah, we said we can do something in Miami here.
So we need to have like a contest. Caption this. Right?
Oh, this picture. I just
I've
like
got
Lewis
some
is there, like
espresso for you.
clapping and cheering him on. Let's
How can I
go.
not cheer him on, man? The beach balls on Alex to do this on national TV.
Yes, that's right. We need more balls.
Will had a lot of fun with it.
Oh,
Yeah.
no kidding.
I wish you could, guys. Like, I know it's been said here and other places too. It'd be so great to have like a YouTube version of the show that's like outtakes and clips that don't make it into the edit, because
Yeah.
this whole shoot alone was a riot, and you guys got 15 seconds of it, but the whole
Yeah.
5-minute shoot was.
We got a couple of the still shots, which was fun. We got to see
Great.
the layout of craft services. And there's one shot of Will with an apple in his mouth, posing, I think, in front of Kelly.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
All our students at Belen also have some of these shots.
Yeah, there's a lot of still shots going around.
You're famous now.
For all the wrong reasons, yes.
For all the wrong reasons.
Now, I haven't seen the slide deck, but PT, do you have one of the shots with him? There it is.
There's the infamous photo right there.
That's very sexy.
Fox was so generous to put in like the initial trailer. So it was out there for a while. It was good. I didn't even have to sweat this episode.
I was
Everyone had already
thinking,
seen it.
I was telling them, save it for the show, don't spoil it. But they wanted to bring in the female audience, so they had to use it.
And it's like, you wanted a 6-pack? I brought a
There
keg.
you go.
Oh my gosh. See, Debo's already onto it. He's already starting to do the caption it.
That's too funny.
Well, it looked like you had a lot of fun doing this.
It was a blast.
Yeah.
All right. Your croquette mover, or croquetta, sorry.
Croqueta mover with ketchup.
With
With
ketchup.
ketchup. So you guys picked the red racing car
Yeah.
and the submarine.
Actually, they were left with this because they were.
Oh, were they the last picked, weren't they?
They were the
Let me,
last pick.
I'll say this to that. We got the 2 vehicles that we wanted.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
say that. Okay, the fact that we struggled had nothing to do with us picking last, nor that we didn't get the,
Pole position.
yeah.
Because
now,
The lineup was based on a
Well, pole
random
position
order
would have been
too.
nice.
we got what we wanted. However, from where we weren't sure what we were getting exactly, but we saw a color scheme that we thought we could do something interesting with, and that's what we picked. And unfortunately, it was a lot of that 2x brick, which made doing something strong challenging. I'm still very proud of our build. I think Alex is too.
Yeah, it's great.
Mhm.
You're
And,
really-
I'll still stand by that after Christopher Roberts' amazing shark, which was hands down the best one, I think, and no one can disagree with that. I think ours was the most fun video game type that belongs in a wacky video game. But
Yeah.
things people obviously the judges have their opinion and they're valid, and the critique that it looks like the sub sandwich is extremely valid. Never crossed our mind.
Yeah, we got so excited with the idea once we had it and started working on it that I don't think we ever thought about the sub sandwich.
Not at all. I didn't. And I wish Amy and Jamie had maybe mentioned it to us in their check-in with us.
Right. That would have helped.
They often do that where they say, well, we're worried about this, we're worried about that. Because if they had told us that at some point, we never thought about it. So maybe we would have pivoted or done something different. But I love it. It was done with our kids in mind, and I don't know, especially Oliver. I think this is right in his wheelhouse, his age and the things that he's interested in. So
I'll be honest, he said he'd rather
drive
the shark, but
yeah.
I don't blame
When
him.
I reviewed this, I think with Grant, we were talking about that this begs to have a minifig right there in that window. It's too bad you couldn't have access.
We couldn't do that. Yeah, that's right. We didn't have access.
Not having the brick was tough.
Yeah.
Alex, sorry, really quick. Alex and I were on a video call earlier today, and Oliver was behind him, and he goes, "You should have driven the car."
Yeah. I don't disagree.
In Alex's defense, I don't think it wasn't Alex. That it's just that when we saw how hard that track was, and we knew ours was not. Our plan was to kind of, because what you got out of the race was really just that first spot, and then everybody else was going to be even judging. So we're just like, let's just finish the race. And we can go in the back. Just let's cross the line in almost one piece. And no, we didn't. So, and I think that hurt us in the end.
Did anybody's build? I don't think anyone came across in one piece, right? Everyone broke apart. Yeah,
everyone lost over everyone. It was that track was rough.
Yeah.
Did they leave the pieces on there? Or they pull them off as?
Well, that's what the people in the pit. So Lewis's job was to pick up all of the pieces that
fell off.
I worked hard picking up pieces off that track.
It's when we reviewed this episode, there's a photo of the people who are driving in the back and the people in the pit or in the front. And there's like goofy poses by Sam and Christopher. And I think everybody in the pit is very serious. But the other thing that's really endearing is that you kept reassuring Emily about her driving skills, Alex. It's like, you got this, you got this. And there's another picture we had that we showed of you holding hands right before at the conclusion of this. And they didn't air that, which I thought was interesting. They sent us the shot, but they never aired it on television.
Yeah. Oh, and funny story. We held hands for way too long. It was one of those things where, I remember she walked up and she stuck her hand out and I grabbed her hand. And then we were both so caught up in the moment that it was like, I think the editor spared us because it was like 4 minutes later and we're still holding hands. And it's like, okay, we should probably stop holding hands now. But yeah, it was really tough to be up there with Kelly and Emily because they're dear friends of ours.
Yeah.
So it was an emotional moment. And, we knew that one of us was going home and it was going to be sad no matter what the outcome was. But again, we're really happy with our build. I guess we got a little bit of tunnel vision on this one in terms of not seeing the similarity to the submarine. But at the end of the day, it was nice to go home with something that we were happy with and we were proud of.
And it goes back to educating the public about croquetas and the culture and whether or not to put ketchup or lime or lemon on it, right?
Lime. I'll take this opportunity since he mentioned Emily and Kelly, who are our dear friends, that especially Emily, who was constantly telling people they better watch her stuff when she's on stream.
Yes.
She is in my doghouse.
That's right. She's not here.
She is definitely in my doghouse right now for not being on here. So I'll let her know. Actually, I already did. sent her a message. already.
I had interviewed her in the exit interviews that Endemol Shine has, and I had mentioned that in the chat that Luis had mentioned you stole Alex from him. And many times they were always friends and doing things together. And she was just like, I love Alex, and we held hands for like the longest time. Yeah, it was funny.
Emily and I were friends way before we even got cast on the show. So,
Yeah. She mentioned she knew you before she even knew Kelly.
yeah.
And that you're one of her first customers for her tray.
I have tray number 1.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I have a tray here too.
They're great. I use it all the time.
I have my tray.
I don't
I
use it
already
the way
did a commercial for her last week.
I don't use it in the car because I also drive the car. So, but I do use it on the couch a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I love it. I use it all the time. But yeah, so this one sent us home. So
Yeah.
So now we can segue
yes,
into the other builds for the semifinals.
Yeah, I do have to laugh because I think I told Naomi about this. That the background, the ticket booth, and all that. It's not made out of brick. I know Brandon Griffith, who's the builder who builds all these for the show, and they called and they said they were like they want all that in brick. He's like, oh no. He's like, that's not gonna happen. So yeah,
he should have covered it. He should have done a facade in brick.
They did it for, I think it was last
orange plate on the front.
They did the theater. Remember the puppet theater? I think that was he did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They just retook that, huh?
Yeah.
And this you must be this tall to ride should have been on the floor and like
with a minifig,
an inch and a half high, or whatever it is. That's a missed opportunity right there.
Yeah. Well, so here's the semi-final cast. Final 14.
That's a great group.
And
I call that the Bruckheimer shot.
Exactly.
And then Naomi, I'll let you do the brief.
The brief. Yay. So this particular challenge, they had to make a roller coaster that had some kind of mechanical lift. It had to have a stomach turning ride of their life or a big drop and a theme for the coaster that has a wow factor to it. And they had 12 hours to do this. So this was one of the longer challenges.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, that's the longest at this point.
Yeah, that was something I noticed too. They seemed to shorten this season. A lot of the challenges were a lot shorter than years past.
I think the first episode was 12 hours. Or no, the volcano.
The volcano, maybe. Yeah, I don't have any insight into why that was the way it was this season, but definitely that is the case.
Yeah. So we just have their finished builds here. There's
amazing.
Yeah, Robert and Christopher. That spiral, that was getting the train up. That was, I thought, was an interesting.
So clever.
Yeah.
Again, I wish I could have seen this in person. But for me, this was the clear. I don't know if we want to jump ahead to the results.
Oh yeah, no, you're fine. There's only a few slides of each of the.
Yeah, this was the clear winner to me because whereas maybe I don't think it's the best themed build.
Mm-hmm.
It has enough of a theme, plus it has that mechanism to bring the carts up to the top, and then the roller coaster itself is the most stomach turning.
Yeah,
especially with
that, it was a massive drop and the side turn.
Yeah, it was just really good, and then the use of the tires and the way he breaks it at the loading station.
And didn't Jamie say there were 9 motors used for this?
Yeah.
Well, the second Jamie said that he didn't think they were going to be able to do it, I got very excited to see Chris do it because I knew that was all he needed to hear to make sure he got it done.
He said, that gave him more motivation to prove him wrong, right?
Yeah.
That I'm going to do this.
And a few places where this falls short, like I would have loved to have seen. If they had another 5 hours or so, this would have just been the most amazing thing. This cloud would have been perfect. They would have had a full dragon at the top that was amazing.
Oh, yeah. Easily. at the
Yeah, they
tail and the stomach
They
and
would have
everything.
covered
Yeah.
all those motors. Everything would have been amazing. So, but with the 12 hours that what they did, I think is just really impressive.
And 7 of those hours was just that lift mechanism.
Yeah.
Exactly. But it was worth it. It paid off because
Hmm.
that's what won it for them. In
It
my
was
opinion.
fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Emily and Kelly and their Ladybug flight. I did. I actually liked. Obviously, they had I think the best decorated out of the 4.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
Mhm.
Thematically, it was amazing and beautiful.
I think this looks like an actual ride at a theme park.
Yeah.
You know, go ahead, PT.
No, I was going to say the thing is it reminds me of California Adventure, Goofy
Wow.
Sky School. My son loved that.
Yeah.
And it's a little just like bumping around kind of coaster. And this kind of reminded me of it. Although that is true that now that I was looking at the brief, they missed the big. That big.
Yeah.
They actually said that they had a smaller drop and they had to make a bigger drop, but that still wasn't as large compared to some of the others.
Yeah. Again, it's beautiful. I think if they had just added a loop or something, and I don't know why they didn't. I haven't talked to them about exactly why they didn't do that. But just one kind of technically more impressive part, I think they would have stayed in it because it's beautiful. And I think it's the nicest. It's the nicest build in my opinion in terms of a beautiful, cohesive, well-designed build. There's nothing. Every other build feels like, if they had more time, they would have finished this or added this or but this one looks like they did everything they wanted to do and it's complete. I think unfortunately it wasn't. The roller coaster was, I think, too simple.
I did chat with them a little bit about during the Endemol Shine interviews. One of the reasons why they didn't put a loop in is they thought about it, but the loops were yellow, whereas these are red. So they had thought, well, maybe we could make that loop look like a bee and kind of pull it into the theme, but they couldn't really make it work with the theme. And when they looked at the brief, a loop wasn't required in the brief. So based on everything in the brief, they met all the requirements in the brief.
I think they got stung by something that they got dinged by Alex and I got dinged by a couple times, which was, I don't know, it's personal choice. But I for example, I feel like the polish on our monkey build, maybe it was a little more polished than Sam and Nina's, but Sam and Nina's, the scale and the technical side of it, of their clock,
right,
was what carried them through, and rightfully so. And I think the same thing happened here. They had probably the most beautiful build, but they needed that technical. I think when it comes to it, for whatever reason, the judging, the scale and the technical carries a little more weight than the theme and the story. Whether that's good or bad, I guess everyone has their own opinion, but that's just seems to be the show. And I think that's what got Emily and Kelly here.
Well, and also they did spend quite a bit of time on Paul and Nolita making the decision to put in a second loop.
Yeah,
and just saying, we gotta go big.
Yeah,
and maybe if really Kelly and Emily had thought that way, that maybe they would have put the loop in. It's like, who cares if it's yellow? Just put it in, right?
Although it was driving me crazy to see the red and yellow pieces together as a viewer at home.
Me too.
I was like, I would have struggled with that because I would have been like,
well,
no, we have to.
The other teams had that though. Even Christopher and Roberts, even though it was heavily red, they had that one little yellow piece at the very top.
Beginning, yep.
At the very beginning.
Yep. Listen, the whole season, you have to make, when you're building on the show, you have to make concessions like that all the time.
Exactly.
I think people have this conception that, you have the brick pit, you can do anything you want. I think a lot of AFOLs, because I used to do that, or I'd sit there going, why did you do this way? It's so much easier to do it this way. Like the mobile on our cat build, that took me 45 minutes, I think, Whereas if I had the parts that I knew I needed, I would have done that in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But I had to spend because there was, they didn't have the right Technic bracket that I wanted. So I constantly had to keep inventing more overly complicated ways to achieve what I could have done. But you don't have an unlimited,
selection of parts.
assortment of parts. You gotta go with what you have. And look, I mean, is it ideal that those loops and Paulinitas and Paulinialitas are yellow instead of red? Not ideal, but it works. And I still think there's a lot of technically impressive things in this build as well. And the fact that they did 2 coasters, I thought was amazing. And I can see I can definitely feel like it was justified that they made it. I would have felt that way if Emily and Kelly had made it through as well. So that was a tough call, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, they made that decision midway. That wasn't their original intent, too.
Yeah. And it was a smart decision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because, I think thematically this is the least successful of the 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Decorated wise, it's just not as decorated.
Like when you saw the brief earlier, you had the 3 things, and
right, the wow factor.
They both nailed the first thing,
mm-hmm.
and then they nailed the technical, and Emily and Kelly nailed the theme. So
it's really hard to know, what the judges are going to put more value on at the end of the day, because you only have so much time, and we know Paulina could have put a ton of polish and detail into it if that was the route that they chose to go. And they went with a more technical route, and it's fascinating what they pulled off. But it's just one of those things where you never know where the judges are gonna lean towards.
Yeah, I'm curious to we had a conversation with New Zealand, Robin Sather, who's their certified Lego professional, but who does their Brickmaster stuff, but he actually, when he does the things, he actually created a metric. So he actually had point systems for certain things in his brief. And so he valued certain things over, and I don't know if they do that or not. I'm just curious.
Did they share that with the contestants before building?
No, he didn't share. I don't think he did. He shared it with us when we interviewed him. But
that's his own private metric that he uses to judge.
Oh yeah, because he it's just him as a brickmaster. He has no other brickmaster. He has a host.
Right. He has the equivalent to a Will.
Yeah.
Guy Henwood is like the Will celebrity, but he's the only judge.
Yeah.
Right, like Australia.
That's New Zealand.
Yeah, exactly like Australia. Yeah. But I thought that was interesting that he had that. I don't know what they have, so.
But again, Paul and Neil nailed this with the it's just an awful poster.
Yeah.
Like so tough choice.
Yep. And Sam and Nina's in there.
So this one is actually interesting because I was honestly at one point worried for Sam and Nina. It's the magic of editing, right? Because they never showed that ocean floor.
Yeah.
Until the very, very end. So at first I was kind of surprised knowing Sam that it seemed a little bit basic, and then all of a sudden it comes to life and you see the waves rocking back and forth, and it's like, okay, that there it is. But it just shows the magic of editing.
Yeah, I mean, this one could have won, I think, as well. I think Christopher and Robert won because of their
spiral.
Yeah. But this was beautiful too. When that water is moving, it's super cool, and it's it's a reasonably easy mechanic. You pick the right time to put it in, and it just works so well. The Kraken's amazing. The color here is great. I don't know. I love this build. I thought they crushed it too. And
it's funny though when they tried to build the loop with red. Maybe it's because aesthetically they didn't like the yellow.
Yeah.
And they spent that time trying to do it with the red.
Well, it's my favorite moment of all so far. When Sam's at some point I think he says something like, "Well, there's an easier way to do it," and Nina just kind of says, "And you're choosing to do it the hard way."
Yeah.
Right. There's a lot of friction, and that's why we built these yellow loops. You may want to use the yellow loops.
Listen, I think it's cool that he tried. I think the thinking that the line of thinking that he used is a good one, because I mean, look what Christopher and Robert were doing.
Oh yeah, had he pulled it off, it would
Right.
have been
He
even
had to
better.
go above and beyond the norm, and
Hubris.
he thought that was an opportunity to do that. Yeah. But this is the time, like they say, when you get to this far, you gotta pull out all the stops. And I give
Yeah.
him credit for trying. The yellow would hurt me too. So if that was his
Mhm.
reason, because he didn't want yellow, I think that's a very valid reason, and I give him lots of props for trying it, and lots of props for giving up on it and abandoning it. That's the other thing. Sometimes we get married to our ideas, and we fall in love
Yep.
with ideas, and we hold on too long. So
And I
clearly,
think Nina's comment was hilarious. We could have done this like 3 hours ago.
yeah.
Like, put in that yellow loop. That's okay. Moms will always be there for you.
They took the time to try something. It didn't work. They I don't want to say pivoted because that sounds too drastic, but they changed their mind and made it work, and they still had time to make it look beautiful. I think it was time well spent. I mean, it didn't work out. It doesn't always work out, but it was a good attempt.
Yeah.
I just love the beauty shots with these two together. They just
Yeah.
look so cool. Very sweet.
They're awesome. And Nina's amazing.
Hmm.
And then, as you kind of already mentioned, Chris and Robert won that challenge with their lift, and Emily and Kelly ended up saying goodbye.
Yeah, that hurt.
Mhm.
This was the first time. Well, I wasn't there. Maybe that's why part of it. But this was the first time where an elimination, hit me in the emotions. I guess I was there for the other ones live, so it wasn't. I knew it was happening, but for this one, having not seen that elimination before, seeing it for the first time was tough. And that might be one of the reasons. Partly because I'm such good friends with Emily and Kelly, it might be the other reason. But it was a tough one.
Yeah.
But listen, I'm so proud of Emily.
Mhm.
For so many reasons, because of, even though I shouldn't say anything nice about her right now since she's not here to
He's
hear
not
it.
here in the chat, right?
But I know early on, especially before going on the show, she was so worried about her technical abilities and technique, and she worked so hard. And we spent time working on it, and she would spend time in the hotel and our meeting room that we had there, just toying and tinkering, and that she nailed this coaster and made it work. I'm extremely proud of her. And then everything she said at the end during her elimination was really nice to hear. So I'm super proud of Emily and Kelly both.
Yeah, they're both wonderful role models too.
Yeah, they're awesome, and they're great builders and great people.
Debo had a comment on the coaster. They took another track, so to speak.
Oh, boy.
And Grandma Blue Bricks, they adore each other. Yeah.
That is true.
So that's the end of our slideshow. What's next for you? What's next on the horizon?
I don't know. Build wise, I have a few things I'm working on, but I haven't really built anything since the show. At least not particularly. But Alex and I are thinking of maybe doing a build of what we had kind of started to plan. What would have been our final build. So we're thinking about doing that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, if we can get that done, maybe it'll travel to Chicago. We'll see. That's our hope, I think. Easier said
That's
than
right.
done.
Lewis said that Ben and Poppy must be in Chicago, right? Based on the chat last week.
Yeah, let's hope. He said Poppy's thinking about it. I don't know about Ben, but Poppy's thinking about it. I want to get as many of our. You grow so close to these people. It's an adult summer camp, is the way I like it. And you're with those people in such a stressful environment, so close to them, literally and figuratively and literally, for so long, that you get really close to them, and you miss. I miss them. I miss them now, and I missed them when I left. And the hardest part about leaving, despite being excited to go back home, and I missed my kids terribly, so to be home. But I think I even went through a little mini depression when I got home. Like you just miss being there.
Oh, your friends are gone.
Yeah. So it's hard. So I miss them, and I hope I can see as many of them as possible, as often as possible. So I hope everyone goes to Chicago or one of the other conventions.
Come to Bricks Cascade. PT and I will be there.
I'll probably do Cascades again. I went there last year. I'll probably go again this
Yeah,
year.
it'd be
Don't
great.
think I'll bring anything again. It's too far.
Great
Well,
show.
I can get you to do some little portals, the little doors, and you can just pack it in your suitcase. That's what I do. I pack everything.
Yeah, but I'm not. My brain wants to do stuff like this.
Or you
Large.
just do the meet and greet.
Or bring your monkeys.
Yeah, maybe I'll do
Oh,
something
the
like that.
monkeys. You can
Good
pack
idea.
those in a suitcase.
We can scale up the monkey, like a big monkey.
Well, and then now you're running out of space. And where's he going to put his underwear, right? You know?
Who needs underwear? I'll just
Yeah,
travel with
anything
seven
about
on.
Lewis? No, I don't.
I'll travel with seven underwear on the plane.
Funny.
PT, did you have any other closing questions?
No, I think you asked it just what's next and where they're going. I love the idea of you guys doing your final build that you had in mind. That is awesome. That'd be cool to see.
It would be. It'd be fun, and it's a personal build too. So I think we'd really like to do it.
Well,
see.
thank you again for being on the show. And
you.
Thanks for having us. Anytime.
if you want to follow Lewis, go to Salad Bricks on Instagram. Alex can be found at Teacher That Bricks with the underscores in between. PT McEwen, PT.T.McEwen on Instagram. And PT put this in. I don't ever do this, but follow me, Brickanista on Instagram too.
You should do it.
And you're listening to the Brickanista Broadcast Network. Please like and subscribe to the stream. And if you want to send snail mail, you can send it to P.O. Box 87232, Vancouver, Washington, 98607. So thank you again. Thank you, chat.
07.
What's that?
The zip code. You said 07, but it said 87 on the screen.
I'm sorry. 98687. And that's because my personal address is in Camas, which is 98607.
Okay.
So good catch there. 98687. Thank you.
No problem.
And thank you, chat, as well.
That's
I
that
think
attention to
Brickaroo
detail
Bonsai.
on the show.
Debo Bricks, Grandma Blue Bricks, Lena Inverse, Brickaroo Bonsai, I think. Brick Jedi was here. Jesse, of course. Great way to support your boyfriend. Thank you for being on the stream. Timmy Owl and Tim's Brick Adventures. We've had a lot of your cast members too. So
Great.
I should mention next week's episode is a Smash-a-thon. So I'm not sure. PT is going to be gone again, but Grant will be here with me. I think we're going to be doing a review of the Smash-a-thon, or we may do another review of some of the contestant builds.
No, I was going to say, I actually think you should ask Robin, see if he's available, because he smashes all his builds at the end all the time.
Oh, you're going to smash your builds? At
No,
Bricks Cascade?
Robin Sather as your
Oh.
co-host. He might be good. Sorry, just a thought. Nothing against Grant.
I see. For a smash, I've already asked Grant,
Yeah.
so I'm not going to renege on my
No.
invitation. But anyway, thank you again, everybody. And as they say in the Brickanista Broadcast Network, thank you so much. And may the clutch be with you. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.